What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, and we're going to talk some more Aero Precision stuff today, specifically this 14.5-inch chromoly vanadium upper build right here that I bought from Aero as a build. So whether you're a builder or a buyer, Aero Precision is going to have you covered. And I'm testing 3 of these right now. One I already did that video on, which is that 16-inch 416R stainless barrel that you can probably see behind me. I'm testing this one now, and I've got one more to go, which is the 10.5-inch with that Delta brake on it. Now the 14.5, so people would ask, why a 14.5? Well, for me, if you have something like this set up right here and you do not have a registered SBR lower like this one, you have to have a barrel that's 16 inches or longer unless you build it as a pistol. Now, since this one's an SBR, I can have whatever I want. Not everybody has an SBR nor wants to pay for it. So if you have a rifle and a buttstock, you've got to have a barrel of 16 inches. Now, if you have a barrel like this one that's 14.5, but you permanently affix that muzzle device, you can see that one is welded on there, then it meets the ATF requirement of being 16 inches overall. And when it comes down to it, ask your significant other, sometimes inches matter. But either way, just a great setup from Aero. I like the mid-length gas system. Now, a mid-length gas system with a good muzzle brake on there is going to be very, very soft shooting. You're going to have a good time doing those super fast follow-up shots. It's going to make you extremely accurate, whether you're pressing a little bit of that distance or whether you're really up close and personal. Now the brake, there are tons of different brakes out there and you can get lost in it. VG6 makes a lot of good brakes. They function very, very well. And as you can see from that video, this thing functioned very well, very flat, although it did turn into a bit of a mouth breather and shot some flame out there, which definitely causes some flash in your eye. So shooting this thing at night would probably be a burst of reality, but it's still a very nice brake and it does exactly what it is. Not a flash hider, this is definitely a brake. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about this barrel real quick. So this is the exact same barrel that is in this upper receiver right here. As you can see, it's that mid-length gas system. Standard government profile with that pinned Epsilon Gamma brake or VG6 brake right there. As you can see the weld mark that's been pinned in there. You can see the quality of the machine work of that brake. And this makes this a legal 16-inch barrel. It's actually slightly over 16. Depending on the brake you go with, could be a little bit shorter, but still meet that 16 requirement. Very, very nice. Check out the feed ramps right there. Get you guys a good view of them. You can see just great work on here. The machine work is definitely top notch. Salt bath nitrided stuff here. This barrel is going to last a very long time and will likely outshoot most of us, myself included. Now, any barrel company of quality is going to generally have their logo in there with the barrel information. So you can see the Aero Precision logo, the 5.56x45, NATO 1-in-7 4150 chromoly vanadium. Very nice setup, so we'll put this aside and then we're going to go over this upper. Specific one came with the Aero Precision logoed Radian Raptor Ambi release right there. These are absolutely awesome. They are a bit pricey, but if you're running this for work or you just like training offhand, strong hand stuff, really a good way to go. As far as the Aero Precision upper receivers, they make a great upper receiver. It's got some clean, nice lines to it. It's got that set screw right there rather than the roll pin. Makes for an easy installation. I have not noticed any unusual wear. I have had zero issues with any Aero Precision product I have, and I'm becoming more and more of a fan of them. Very clean chamber up in there. Again, the machine work. Let me flip this around for you. Get you the best lighting I can in there. You can see machine work even inside, very smooth, very, very clean. It's just a well done, well built piece. Then you all saw how that rail goes on there. So talking about that rail, you can just see how slim that thing is. I mean, you can really get around that thing. And it's comfortable, extremely comfortable. A little bit of texturization right there. So you can really hold on to this thing. You got M-lock rail there, M-lock down here, M-lock on the side. You got those QD non-rotation points right there. So they have really thought this thing out quite well. And it's just comfortable. Now, if you've got really huge hands, this might be a little too thin for you. But when you're looking through an optic, depending on how high you have it mounted, if you've got a larger rail, sometimes you're going to see your hand in the way of that optic. This pretty much alleviates that. As you can see, you know, it meets the height when you've got your flip up sights or whatever on there. From the back all the way to the front, it will meet the same height standard, but it's thinned out here for that new kind of C-clamp over the top grip. Great stuff here. Don't think you can go wrong with anything that Arrow makes at this point, especially if you get in a configuration like this. You're staying legal. If you want to build a pistol, you can do this with a pistol, but this will make your rifle length AR a legal setup, being 14.5 with that pin brake. So let's go ahead and we'll finish up talking about the barrel steel and everything else. 416R may not be the way to go. You might want to stick with that 4150 chromoly military style steel because it's gonna last. Now, my understanding is these style of barrels, 4150 chromoly vanadium, are going to last longer than 416R stainless steel barrels. However, barrel life is very, very difficult to judge because some of it comes into your ammo, how you treat that thing, and you know, other things, how much wear you have in the throat of that thing. So there's a lot that goes on into the length and the life of a barrel. Some of the barrel life having to do with the length of the barrel itself. But generally, the 4150 is going to last longer than the 416R stainless steel. So when you actually start spitting that 2A pez out of this thing, what does the rifling and muzzle velocity and length all have to do with itself? So if you don't know, bullets, the projectiles, they want to spin at a certain rate of speed. And if you get under that or over that, or that spin rotation isn't right, you're gonna have bad groups. You're gonna have ammo that may just fly apart if it spins too fast. But it needs to spin at a certain speed rotation-wise so it can stay on its trajectory, stay on its path, and be as accurate as possible. So when it comes to barrel twist rate, you have 1 in 8, 1 in 9, 1 in 10. Easiest way to think about it is 1 rotation per how many inches. So a 1 in 8 is going to turn that 1 rotation in 8 inches. A 1 in 10 is going to turn that bullet 1 rotation in 10 inches. So obviously, the smaller the number, the faster that bullet is going to spin in the barrel. That is why you generally see longer barrels have a higher twist rate, like 1 in 10. So that kind of has to do with distance and all that stuff and length of barrel, because if you got a shorter barrel, we need to get that bullet spinning to the appropriate rate by the time it exits. If you try to do the opposite, you're probably not going to have a good time with ammo, but I don't think barrel manufacturers are going to make a barrel that doesn't make sense anyway, so you don't really have to worry about that too much. Just kind of let you know of what those numbers mean. Now, barrel length and velocity. So when you shorten a barrel or you get a shorter barrel or anything, you're going to lose velocity. That's feet per second, how fast that bullet travels. A lot of ammo out there, you can check the specs on it, and it'll tell you what it's meant to be shot out of, what barrel length, how fast it's going to move in which barrel. So 14.5, 16, between that, you're probably going to see a couple hundred feet per second. And generally, what I've been told, and check me if I'm wrong on this, you super AR knowledgeable guys, that 16-inch, once you go about an inch or so, inch and a half, maybe 2 inches below it, you start losing about 200, maybe 300 feet per second. That's a gross overgeneralization, maybe, but that's kind of what I have seen at matches or people tell me when they chronograph stuff. If you guys enjoyed the video, and stick around on the channel here for that 10.5-inch, and then I got to make my decision on which one I'm going to go with, because the 14.5 and that 16 really did perform well. They kind of surpassed my expectations. And I got to get a few more hundred rounds through that 10.5 and really kind of see how I like it, because that's what I'm currently carrying is a 10.5-inch. And I've kind of decided maybe I need to get a little bit more velocity, a little bit more distance capability out of something I'm using at work. So that video will be coming soon. And then ultimately I will build what I'm going with in the end, test everything out there to make sure it's good to go and make a video on that. So guys, go ahead and make sure you hit that subscribe button, and definitely send one long down range and smash that bell icon. Make sure you're subscribed, because YouTube has apparently unsubscribed a few people. If you want to support the channel at all, you can use any of those affiliate links down below, or you can go check out that TriStar if you want to be ultra generous, and we will go ahead and build this channel to the next level together. Get out there and have some fun on the range. Don't let this stuff die in the safe, and I will see you guys on the next one.